Hey folks, John Strosa from Strosa Legal Nurse Consulting, and I am here in Austin, Texas, just spending a couple of days with my friends here at their place, and I'm headed back tomorrow to LA, but I wanted to jump quickly before too much time passes between videos, because I said I was going to come back and explain exactly what I do as a legal nurse consultant. I told you I do DMEs, or defense medical exams. Now, what does that entail? I always work with the plaintiff attorney and the plaintiff client, and I go with our client. I work with personal injury attorneys. I go with the client to their defense medical exam. Why is it called a defense medical exam? Because the defense, the opposite side, who is being sued, whether it's a company or whatever, they hire a doctor to examine our client. So I go with them to the doctor's appointment, and I'm there as their legal representative, and I'm following the attorney's orders, specific orders about what the doctor can ask or do. And I'm also with them to record the whole audio of the whole session. I take notes of everything the doctor does and says, and I'm there to block certain types of questions if the doctor makes them. So basically, this doctor that is doing the defense medical exam, the defense doctor, is very limited in what he or she can ask, and so, or do. And so I am there to make sure that the rules of the DME are followed. So the doctor cannot ask anything about past medical history, nothing absolutely about employment or work, nothing about their personal or social life or family history. Usually the sessions last from, well, I've been to some that were 8 minutes to an hour and a half. And basically the doctor will ask, there's two portions. There's the history portion and then the examination. So during the history portion, the doctor will ask basically what kind of accident it was and what was injured. And the client will tell them, I was involved in a car accident, or I was rear-ended, I hurt my back, my neck, and these are symptoms that I still have from the accident. And that's all we can discuss. We can't discuss any past medical history, other injuries, other surgeries from the past, or medical conditions. So that part can take up to half an hour or so. And then we'll either continue on to the medical examination according to the doctor's specialty, if he's an orthopedic doctor, or if she's a neurologist or a neurosurgeon or a plastic surgeon or an ophthalmologist, whatever it may be. And they will examine the body. They'll do an examination according to, like, if it's an orthopedic examination, they'll do, basically from head to toe, range of motion of the neck, the arms, the legs. They'll do measure the circumference of the biceps and the forearms and the thighs and the calves. They'll make them bend their neck to the sides. Just a typical examination using their instruments. So I note everything the doctor did, if instruments were used or not used, if they used gloves, and if the doctor ever asks something that is not allowed, then I'm there to say, sorry, doctor, we're not going to answer that question. Next question, or that is in the medical record, or that is in their deposition. So most of the time, I'd say 98% of the time, the doctor knows why I'm there, and they won't give me any problems. But a couple of times, a couple of percentage times, there are some doctors that I've met with that want to ask things that they're not allowed. And so I have to keep saying, sorry, doctor, we're not going to answer that question. Next question, we're not answering that. That's in their deposition. That's in their medical record, whatever. So, and there were a couple of times that the doctors would get upset, or they'll stop the exam. I can't do this. You can't. You're just a nurse. You can't tell me what to do. And I'm like, actually, I'm exactly here to do exactly that, to tell you what you can ask and you can't ask. And I'm supposed to protect the client's rights. So they can't answer things that were already answered in the deposition or that may be in their medical record. And so I will be there during the whole session and during the examination. And then once we're done, we'll go home, and that's it. So basically, it's relatively easy work, but it does take a special kind of person, because a lot of these doctors will try to intimidate the client into answering, or they'll say, you know, if you don't answer that question, it's just going to be on your record that you were trying to hide something or something like that. Then I'll jump in and say, actually, that is not true, doctor, or I'll intervene. Or the doctor will try to ask questions that they're not supposed to, and I have to keep telling them that we're not going to ask. Sometimes they get angry, or they'll storm out. I've had doctors storm out and call their attorney, and then they come back because they know they have to finish. I've had a doctor in Long Beach kick me out and call security because I was doing my job. So it takes a special kind of person that is not going to be intimidated by the doctor. And I've been an ICU nurse for many, many years, and I'm not afraid to talk to doctors or to speak up because they're not the boss of me, and we're colleagues, basically. We have different scopes of practice, but they are not above you, and I am not beneath them. So, but a lot of doctors with that mentality will try to intimidate. A lot of the nurses who do this are female, and they will get intimidated easily, and that is not good. So you need somebody that's going to be there to make sure your client is not going to answer questions that they're not supposed to, and that the doctor's going to do what they're supposed to. Then I get home, I download the audio, I write my report, and I send it to the attorney with the audio file. And that is where my part in the case ends. So I don't know anything from the past or anything that happens after. I just have that little part, the defense medical exam. So hopefully that gave you a little idea of what I do. Now I can do many, many other things, but this is what I specialized in, and this is what I mainly do from Monday through Friday as a legal nurse consultant, defense medical exams. Now I want to just quickly touch on the IME part, independent medical exams. Many attorneys and nurses and people who do this will still call it IMEs, but you have to remember the doctor is not an independent contractor or doctor. They are very biased. They're hired by the defense. So the literature that is out now about this says that we should correct people who say IMEs or independent medical exams and call it DMEs, defense medical exams, because they are not independent. They're very biased. They're from the defense. Anyway, I hope this helps you a little. Next video, I will be sharing some tips and other things about what I do and the things that I go through. Have a great day, guys. God bless you. And as always, be healthy, be happy.